I'm Jash, and welcome to another exciting episode of Jash Reads, a series where I read a book cover to cover and discuss it chapter by chapter. So, yay! And of course, as you can see, there isn't a Minecraft element, you could say, where besides reading and discussing, I also work on a build. And no, I did not build the glory you see around me right now. I just got lucky and got into an illager thingamajig. So that was cool. But anyways, today we are going to be reading more of Animorphs number 13, The Change by K.A. Applegate. And Tobias is my favorite character in the series, and back in the day, he was also my first fictional crush. Yeah, so I don't think I've, ever been in the least bit normal. And that is fine. Okay, let's see. There. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're just working on the flooring right now. Okay, we still have flooring to work on here. I still hear things, so go wild. You know, my blogging and all, I like to be a nice little bit of hope for everyone. I know we all can't be fighting our fights 24/7, or else we just burn out and are basically no use to anyone. So, something happened today in the US government, but I know the gist of things, but I haven't really felt like I wanted to figure out exactly what's going on. Like, I know what's going on to the point where I know the gist of everything and I'm up to date, but not well enough if I was, discuss it in a format like this where everyone can hear. Because the thing is, you have to be careful with wording and everything so that people don't get the wrong idea about what you think. Plus, it's really fucking depressing. And again, I like to be a little bit of sunshine in your day, night, evening, whenever you're actually watching this. So you might be going through a tough time, and then you can just do a little bit of escape. Oh, look at the sun is rising! Woo! Yay! Yay! I'm thinking about doing more of my getting back to do Minecraft Marketplace, little series I did for a short while. Just an excuse to buy stuff. And oh, look it's part of my job, haha. But I don't know. I've been thinking about it, but no real firm decision. Yeah. Trump made a really stupid fucking decision again, and we're all going to suffer the consequences, so that's great. Okay. I think I've done enough, and I can't wait to start exploring the world after building up this little area. I'll get an add-on with dragons. Anyways, now I'm going to be doing a second episode Jash Reads today, and I might, grit my teeth and listen to more of the news. So, that episode I might be discussing it more, depending. Thank you, Iron Golem. That's very nice. But for now, let's look at the Iron Golem, because he's the only one that matters, apparently. Anyways, let's get started with the dramatic reading part of this dramatic reading. Woo! Again, we are going to be covering, let's see, Animorphs number 13, The Change by K.A. Applegate. Hang on a sec. Okay, there we go. And we are going to be reading chapter 17. Yay! Oh my god. Sorry, just doing a little bit brief stretching. I'm so glad you can't see me. I don't know what sort of stretching I was doing, but oh my god. Anyways, let's begin. As I flew up through the trees, I saw the sun just peeking up over the rim of the earth in the east. It instantly lit the treetops with gold. It was a beautiful sight. Golden leaves and dark shadows beneath, and clouds all red on one side and still night gray on the other. It felt good to be up off the ground. It felt good to have air beneath my wings and a cold, clean breeze in my face. I'd spent the night clinging to a Hork-Bajir's horns and slogging through the brush. That was no place for a bird, or even for a human in bird shape. The air was still flat, no thermals, no updrafts, so I had to work hard, but it felt good, flapping my wings and stretching my cramped muscles. I would miss this when I became human again. Would the Elmis give me back my human body and let me keep the morphing power? I hope so. I'd hate to think I would never fly again. Below me, I spotted an opening. Not even a meadow, really. Just a small clearing with tall grass and fallen logs and the telltale burrow openings of rats and voles and other tasty morsels. But I had to be careful. This clearing probably belonged to someone. Another hawk, possibly. Not to mention other species. I had to get in and out fast. Get in, make my kill, and bail. I swept the ground with my laser-sharp eyes, looking for the tiny movements that would betray a mouse or a rat. Sometimes, when the light is just right and the hunger is sharp, it's almost like I can see right through the ground. Like I can see the mice in their warm burrows. Maybe that's why I didn't see the danger. Maybe it was because I was totally focused on eating. I did spot a rat, though. A nice, plump thing waddling along toward his own breakfast. I dived from up high. Then I hit a sudden air pocket. It threw me off balance and I nearly splattered myself into the dirt. I yanked back just in time and lost my rat. Oh man, I complained. Whatever happened to the good old days when breakfast was a nice, easy bowl of Wheaties? Well, it would be that way again soon. As soon as Elmis kept his promise to me. A warm bed at night and a nice, easy breakfast in the morning. Not that that's how it had been when I was human. I hadn't exactly been in a nice, normal family. See, both my folks left a long time ago. After that, I just got passed around from one aunt or uncle to another. When I was stuck in morph and disappeared from the human world, I don't even know if any of them looked for me. I shoved those thoughts aside. I flapped my wings, ready for takeoff. But I just cleared the tops of the tall grass when wham! I was hit. It was like someone had thrown a brick at me. I was down, fluttering in the grass, beating my wings in terror. What hit me? What the heck was happening? And only then did I see it poking through the grass. An intelligent, curious face, tawny fur, 4 big paws, and a body that might have been 3 feet long from its nose to the end of the weirdly curved, short tail that gave the beast its name. Bobcat. The wind had been knocked out of me, and I practically fell apart when I saw the big cat. It circled around me, watching me curiously, wondering if I would fight back. Calm, brown and gold eyes surveyed me as I would survey a wounded rat. The hawk in me wanted to flap its wings and try to scare the cat away. But the human in me knew I'd have only one chance. I was fast, but the bobcat was like lightning. And it was powerful. It had hit me with one big paw and knocked me silly. A blow that was so graceful, it had almost seemed to be slow motion. And yet, it was so fast I hadn't had a chance to even think about dodging. Hang on, going to sip some coffee. Nom, 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 nom. Okay, back to Tobias in danger. How had I been so careless? How could I have missed a bobcat in the bushes? Now I was going to die because of my carelessness. I stood on my talons, awkward and helpless on the ground. But as I stood my ground, I closed one talon around a stick. It was a bare twig, really, no more than 2 feet long. I stared hard at the bobcat. It could already taste hawk meat. If I moved, it would lunge. If I didn't move, it would still lunge. One chance. One small, desperate chance. I had to hit its eyes before it could sink its teeth into me. Hawk in my head screamed, "Fly! Fly! Fly!" The human in me said no. Hawk couldn't win this fight. Only the human could. I clutched the stick tightly. Lunge! The bobcat flew at me. I jerked back, bringing the stick up off the ground. Hoo! The bobcat howled as the sharp stick poked his left eye. Okay, now we can fly. I flapped and I motored my little talon feet along the ground, and I hauled like I've never hauled before. The cat was after me. 1 step, 2 steps, and it had caught up with me. Then it stopped. It turned. I saw it stare. I saw its back fur rise in alarm. Over the bobcat loomed a shape as big around as a redwood tree. 3 rows of tiny, weak claws snapped and clawed at the air. The gigantic centipede head drew back, and I could see 2 of the red, jelly-eye clusters. Taxon! Down came the red mouth, down on the bobcat, and the taxon swallowed the cat in a single bite before the shocked animal could figure out what to do. I was already flapping my way clear of the ground, thorns and twigs and raspy grass ripped at me, pulling out feathers. But I didn't care about a few feathers right then. I found a breeze, and I thanked Mother Nature for giving me wings. I shot up and up and up till I was at treetop level. Only then did I even look back. They were crawling across the clearing and through the trees. A dozen of them, Texans, out in daylight, out where some unlucky hiker could see them. It was insane, totally insane. Behind the Texan trackers marched a virtual army of Hork-Bajir warriors. And with the Hork-Bajir were dozens of human controllers, all armed to the teeth. It hit me then with full force. The Yeerks didn't care about being careful. The Yeerks were going to capture the two fugitive Hork-Bajir, no matter the cost, no matter who died. It was pure Yeerk ruthlessness unleashed. This was an army. An entire army against me and two decent, simple, and not very bright Hork-Bajir. And I still hadn't had breakfast. And that is the chapter. Nice, happy-go-lucky. Let me drink some water. Whew. Oh. Okay, let me get nice and comfy again. God, because one of us has to be comfy, and it ain't going to be Tobias, dear lords. But yeah. This chapter, among other things, does clearly show Tobias's conflict in what he is. Is he fully a hawk? Is he more boy than bird? Because there's numerous times in the chapter when he's, he seems to really need to clarify for himself. And while he told I think a chapter or two back when he was like, you know what I want. And Elmist is like, okay, yeah, but do you? Because Tobias is going on about how, back when I was human, it was so much, breakfast was easy, I had a nice warm bed to sleep in every night. And it's sort of like, really? Really? Someone that's all stable doesn't tend to trap themselves as bird. And no, it's never stated clearly in canon whether Tobias trapped himself in morph intentionally or just an accident. But I think the evidence points towards the fact that he did intentionally because he didn't have a good home life, such as when he's talking about, it was so much easier when I was human, I could have a nice warm breakfast. But then he goes on to say, actually, my life was a little bit shit. When he got trapped in Hawkmorph, whether intentionally or not, he lied to his aunt and uncle saying that he was with the other. So it's not really clear if, they actually searched for him or not. So as he can say, hey, yeah, I was happier as a human. But at the same time, his life was shit. And while part of him does want to be human... Actually, hang on. I don't want it to rain forever. So I need to just sleep through the night. Hang on here. Oh, sorry. Okay, where was I? Yeah. And let me go back a little ways so I can actually say something halfway coherent. Tobias doesn't really seem to know what he wants, because he goes on about how, oh, I was so much happier as a human because I had a warm bed, good meals. His life wasn't good, and he also remarks that he really hopes that when whatever the Elmis does, that the Elmis lets him keep his ability to fly, because while he'll tell himself, I'm, fully a boy, the truth is more complicated, because he really likes flying. He really does like being a hawk. And near the end of the chapter there, he's thanking motherfucking nature for giving him wings. He's not thinking, thank you, Alfangor, for, give me the ability to morph so I can fly. No, it's thanking Mother Nature, which seems to imply that being a hawk to him is part of his very being. Like, it's like he's actually a hawk. Because thanking Mother Nature seems to imply it's natural for him to be a hawk. That's his natural state, not a human. His natural state is a hawk. So, really sort of paints a bad picture with, his response to saying, hey, Elmis, I'm not going to do this for free. You know what I want. And Elmis is like, yeah. Because Elmis knows what Tobias wants, and also knows that Tobias isn't exactly sure exactly what he wants. I mean, Tobias, reminder that Tobias in the series is never an adult. He's a kid. He's a kid that had a hard family life growing up. At least getting the teenager year. Not really growing up, but anyways. And now he's thrust into this war. And wars, there's no really heroes in war. You all, to survive, to win, you sometimes have to make some pretty fucked up decisions. And so he's going through all that very good mental trauma that would make therapists happy. And he's not really thinking clearly. He's just like, well, obviously, since I'm so disappointed being a hawk, I want to be a human and return to my old way of life. So of course a kid isn't really going to be thinking clearly about that, not one that was, abused. So yeah. Not blaming Tobias for making a poor decision, because again, he is just a goddamn kid, and that's where honestly a lot of the true terror of this series comes from. Is once you're an adult reading this, it feels so completely different, because as an adult you really understand how young these kids are. I remember reading it as a kid. I've read the original run from 96 to 2001, so I think I started when I was like 9. So, and I remember reading it as a kid, like, oh my god, this is awesome, they're going on adventures, and now I'm just reading it as an adult going, what the fuck? They're just kids. They're fucking idiot teenagers. Oh. Childhood is all about being a fucking idiot And adulthood is all about realizing that you are a fucking idiot as a kid. God. They should be doing, stupid shit. Not, fighting in a war where they could fucking die. Being all that goddamn trauma. So I guess I should come up with, oh yeah, that's the ceiling for another floor. Anyways, so many things to do here. It's like a head course. Anyways, I guess I need a little question for y'all to comment down on, so let's see. I might have asked this question before, but fuck it. So the question for this video shall be, comment below if you think Tobias intentionally trapped himself in Morph, or if it was, if you think it was just an accident. And also, oh, sorry about that. Also, comment down below, what do you think Tobias actually wants? Do you think he's being honest about wanting to be human, or, what's your opinions? Again, comment down below. Also, comment down below any questions you have about the chapter that I did not address. But remember, for this Jash Read series, I'm sort of hoping against hope that people get into the Animorphs series because of this dramatic reading. So please, no major spoilers in the comments section. And also remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And on YouTube, I have reached over 400 subscribers, so give yourselves a pat on the back for that one, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. It would not have been possible without you. And on Twitch, I currently have, I believe, 49 subscribers. So, yay! Thank you all. I think I remember a little bit ago I kept on being stuck around 43 subscribers, and I guess some people would unsubscribe and then other people would subscribe, and so I didn't think I'd even reach past 45 subscribers. Like, that's probably never going to happen. That's a dream. Oh god, this one's going slow as shit. And before I start reading the links, and the links, if you're watching on Twitch, will be added sometime after I've completed this stream. And if you're watching on YouTube, links are going to be in the description. You do not need to wait for anything. And finally, some of the links in the links section will be Amazon associate links, which means if you buy via the associate links, I will get a little something. So it's a great way to support not only myself, your favorite streamer and YouTuber, obviously, but you will also get to support the original creators, so yay! Win-win. Okay, hang on, let me take a little sip of water. Okay, let's get started with the most boring part. Woohoo! The first link is, of course, to where you can buy your very own copy of Animorphs number 13 The Change by K.A. Applegate. And Animorphs is hands down my favorite book series of all time. It was the first series that I really got into while I was a kid. And it really got me into really reading. Like, I had liked reading before, but Animorphs was honestly just on a whole nother level. What happens if I go up here? Okay. Chicken. Okay. Oh, fuck. This. I don't know what happened. I should have just shut it off. Actually, I'm going to do that now. Just hang on 1 second. Okay, it's Minecraft has never done this shit to me before, so this is new. So yeah, it's gonna take a moment. Again, I am very sorry. I do not know what the fuck happened there. I was like, wait, I'm not moving. I mean, I know I'm an annoying piece of shit, but really? Okay. Usually if I notice it freezing or anything, I will just close out of whatever game I should. It never happened to me. Okay, it went back a little ways there. Am I not supposed to go up here? Ooh. Oh, sorry. But anyways, after that happened. What happens if I go through here? Oh. Whee. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Tobias. Sorry. Yeah, Animorphs is hands down my favorite book series of all time, so if you're deciding whether or not, if you're, a parent and you're deciding whether or not to give Animorphs, to your kids, again, I promise you, kids read the series a lot differently than adults. Like the Animorph in book 5, where, they're being ripped and torn apart. I've read that part so many fucking times when I was a kid, and it didn't, scar me for life. It's like, I'm still freaked out by ants, but it's like, I reread that so... Oh! Danny, you're making it all about you! Hang on. Come on. Good girl! Oh. Cockatiel's wings are clipped, so she can still get a good distance, she just can't, fly normally. But anyways, what I was saying is, like, Animorphs does get dark, but I remember as a kid enjoying it because it didn't treat me like a kid. Yeah, Danny just decided to take a flight. She got a pretty good distance, too. Another sort of fencing. Bamboo fence, another stark oak. Let's do pale oak. Let's see. And for the next link, let's see. Oh yeah, I was like reaching over where the list was. Let's see. The next link is to my Twitter account where you can chat with me all about Animorphs day and night. I promise you will never be able to bore me to death talking Animorphs. But just remember that the spoiler-free thing is only for the Jash Reads series, so if you're just talking to me on Twitter and you don't warn me ahead of time, I probably, am going to spoil some things, probably some big things too. And I also am fans of, other things than just Animorphs, so if you want to talk to me about any nerdy topic, go right ahead. I just watched the teaser trailer for the upcoming Final Destination movie, and it's called Bloodlines, so that gives me a lot of hope. So yeah, I'm Jashikins over on Twitter. Let's do this room first. What I'm gonna do, but it will be awesome. Let me get a nice torch so I can actually see the room. Beep. Okay, and the next link will be to my Patreon. And my Patreon helps not only support these dramatic readings, but all the streams I do. Every crazy ass thing I am doing on my blog. We don't need this, do we? No. What's this here? And besides the streams, the crazy stuff I'm doing on my blog, the dramatic reading, I am also releasing my own book series, so it also helps support that. I also have 2 tiers, so one's $1 and one's $5. The $1 one, you get to see Redbubble designs before I release them. What, Brian? Brian, can you come here and say it into the mic? This is what my husband says about my Patreon. Remember, this is why I have to fucking deal with daily.
The first tier is chocolate cake. The second tier is French vanilla chocolate cake. Thank you.
But anyways, $1 tier is not any sort of cake. There's no cakes involved. But $1, you get to see the Redbubble designs before I release them, and $5, you get to see the cover reveals for upcoming books. And as long as you are a member to my Patreon, you also get to read the first chapter of my upcoming Kafka's Men books before anyone else. And again, unlike my hubby said, there's no fucking cake. What? There's going to be some punching. And the final link is to my original series that I mentioned. Kafka's Men is a reverse harem slow burn. So, slow burn, like, glaciers melt faster. So, if you really like slow burns. Okay, I'll burn the house down then. This is why I don't like recording when he's out here. It's just a fucking distraction. Let's see, get the dark wood here. Anyways, Kafka's Men is a slow burn. It's also grimdark superhero, so there's body horror, angst, and romance. And after the latest book, Kafka's Men 8, which I am going to start editing, hopefully starting tomorrow, I might have to add that Kafka's Men is dark romance, because what the fuck was I going on with the last book? Like, seriously, I finally finished writing and I just stared blankly at the screen for like a good minute or two, like, what the fuck? So, yeah, starting with the next book's release, I am going to start marketing it as dark romance, because again, what the fuck? Okay. Let me take a nice little picture here. Two little pictures, one here. Let's go in the kelp room. Okay. And we have finished with the dramatic reading, the links. So I hope you join me next time. Just remember, the next episode of this Animorphs dramatic reading will take longer than normal, because since I'm done writing Kafka's Men 8, I'm now going to be focusing more on editing, formatting, cover design, and getting it out for pre-order. So I'm going to dial it back on the Jash Reads series, the Alan Wake's American Nightmare. So if you notice a little longer wait time, don't worry. I'm still going to be doing future episodes. And if you ever wonder if I'm stopped on YouTube, I'll use, a post to tell you, or I'll be telling you on Twitter if I stop any of these series, so don't worry. And until next time, and hopefully Brian will not interrupt,